listening to it, and it was killer, Luke. Nice work yesterday.
Awesome. Yep, that's up there for you. Okay, so here we go. Today we're going to talk about offers, offers, offers. Day one was about positioning principles. Yesterday was about the tactics. This is about the type of offers that you can make. Okay. Again, there's been so much information recently about offers that I'm actually going to go through this quite quickly. But this is going to be offers specifically to you as a freelancer, what you can make and how you can structure them, how you can think through them. I think you're going to get a lot of really clear, tangible value from going through this. Okay, so let's talk about offers. You should already know how to position yourself and do outreach, but you still have to actually make an offer. In many cases, you don't need to craft or construct an offer. If you're using Upwork, for instance, or you're trying to like upsell, whatever, like in many cases, you don't actually need the offer, right? They're going to determine what the offer is. But if you're doing outreach methods like cold email or cold DMs, or you're trying to, take a client and give them something else, it's very, very important to know how to construct good offers. Yep, Carolyn, 100% right. So let's start. I immediately, I think I started this. This training is always evolving, right? It went from the poo to the oops method, and there were 4 types of offers, and now I was like, you know what? There's actually really 5, and so everything is constantly improving. But anyways, there are 5 types of offers for you to be aware of. Again, this is there's a million different ways to construct this, right? But this is just a shorthand for you to understand the different types of offers that you can use. Okay, there are free offers. Again, this is what I was originally calling foot in the door, but I was like, you know what? Let me be clearer. It's free. Why do we call it a free offer? Anyone guess? Because it's free. Done. Okay, free offer. Then you have entry offers. Then you have expansion offers. You have premium offers and you have decoy offers. That's basically it. I would say 99% of freelancers only have one offer, which is whatever someone's willing to pay me for. Please, sir, may I have some more? Like that's that's pretty much everyone's offer. However, as the market gets more sophisticated, which sophistication only increases, it's very important to start thinking about your services just like a funnel. I mean, everyone in here knows like self-liquidating offers or low-ticket funnels or tripwire offers, whatever you want to call them. We understand that you have lead magnets and content to tripwires to continuity. Like we understand that flow. So it's about structuring these things for yourself, and a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so that's what we're going to go for. The most important things we're going to focus on are the entry offers. I actually think this is one opportunity for most of you in here, and I'll give you a lot of resources on that, as well as expansion offers. Like I said, most freelancers never use all 5 offers. In fact, many get by using only expansion offers. However, just like in business, et cetera, et cetera. In order of importance, I'd rank these offers. Expansion offers are the most important. Without them, you don't have money. Then free offers, then entry offers, decoy offers, and premium offers. Okay. And you guys will have access to this so you can come back and refer to it. So far, so good, right? Nothing groundbreaking. I haven't shocked you yet. Cool. So let's keep going. Now we're going to go into how to make good offers. There's a lot of nuances when it comes to making offers. I'm going to break it down into a couple of key features. Number 1 is that it's hot. This is what we're going to focus on. A hot offer just means it's something that people want. Okay? Crazy concept, I know. When a certain tactic or idea is trending, clients are way more likely to want that thing. Right? Very important. Next, it's easy for you to fulfill. That should be obvious. It has high perceived value. It should have high value, but the perception is more important than the reality. Both are important, actually, but perception is very important. And it fits the type specific criteria. So each type is going to have a set of criteria, more or less, at least 2 of them that are a little bit specific. And so use those to help guide you. So let's talk about what makes an offer hot. A hot offer, again, just means it's something that people want. And by people, we mean clients, who again, believe it or not, are people too. This means that the clients and the business owners who you want to hire you have the same weird biases and shiny object syndromes, and they think that magic tactics will save their business. Okay? Not all of them. Some of them understand that it's just bread and butter, nuts and bolts all the way down. But still, it's very easy to be like, wow, this is cool, right? This is trending. I want that. So again, you want to be able to make hot offers to individuals. And trust me, like, please, if you get nothing else from today, understand these hot offers and understand that it's your responsibility and job to pay the fuck attention to what's going on in the market. You cannot be lazy. You cannot be lazy. If you can get this into your system today that you leave here, and from now until the end of eternity, right? Which I don't know, maybe it's 2027, maybe it goes longer than that. We'll find out. But until the end of this game, you guys are aware of what is going on in the market, you will have gotten so much value. Because if you're ever nervous about what offers do I make to people, how do I make more money, how do I follow up with people, what kind of conversation topics do I have, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to do this, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Understanding, just paying attention to what is trending right now in your market and in your industry is going to save you so much of that. It's going to take away all the awkwardness out of your follow-up, all the awkwardness out of the conversations. Okay? Maybe not out of your personality, but we'll do our best. Okay? And that's what I'm going to explain how to do. So a hot offer just means, all right, I already said all that. Okay, so when is an offer hot? When there's a real problem that needs solving. Okay, markets are always moving and always changing. That's what's fun about this game. There are always new problems. And guess what? New problems should make you happy because a new problem means like new solution. And new solution means new money. Whenever there's a novel solution and there's a market readiness. Okay? And here's a little equation because you know I love equations. Problem severity times the solution novelty times the market readiness. That creates the heat. But at the end of the day, don't stress about this. A hot offer just means something that people want. Can you guys understand that? A hot offer just means it's something that people want. Cool. All right, so let's look at some current hot entry offers. Some current hot entry offers. This is just in internet marketing, direct response, okay? I'm not saying that all of these are going to be perfect for you. There are nuances within your specific niche, nuances in your market, okay? But I'm just giving you a few different examples. Number one, AI meme ads, okay? This is like less hot, but if you guys remember, like you were able to make this, like I want you guys to pay attention, and hopefully you were paying attention. You were able to make meme ads for a long time. It was actually quite easy to do for a while. And then one day, ChatGPT came out with an update, and they just updated their image model, and all of a sudden it became easy to put text on the image, and it became really easy to use ChatGPT to make image, and then people were, their minds were fucking blown. The crazy part is that the technology, it only got easier. It wasn't like impossible and impossible. It only just got a little bit easier. But all of a sudden, and I can just tell because I'm in these mastermind group chats, and all of a sudden everyone is losing their shit. Oh my God, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that. And now everyone wants it. Okay, we are mimetic creatures by nature. If you want something, I want that thing too. Okay, it's one of the weird things we got to, figure out. But it's like, if you want that ad, then I want that kind of ad too. And I'm willing to pay somebody to make it happen for me. Powerful. Okay. You guys should take a page out of the book. This is the reason why content is really important. Take a page out of the book of influencers and content creators. I would say content creators especially. After Hormozi's launch, how many of your guys' like YouTube feed is just filled with people piggybacking off of all the attention that Hormozi created? Like I broke down Hormozi's script word by word. It's like, okay, you're just repitching his script. That's cool. It's just funny, right? Yeah, exactly. So like, and I'm not throwing shade at Dan Henry. I'm just like, it's tons of people breaking it down, right? Because they understand that attention is a marketplace and attention is the most valuable currency. So when there's something that happened in the marketplace, you just jump on it fast right away. When a new technology emerges, the speed at which you are able to launch a new offer or do something is so powerful. Again, this is why AI, like, yes, it's very confusing because things happen all the time, but it also creates so much opportunity. There's a guy I follow, and every single time there's some sort of update, he posts something on Instagram and he says, DM me for the blueprint. And I'm like, he gets me every time. I'm like, fuck, I got to DM this guy. I DM it, and it's literally just like it's like a Google Doc with like, here's the link to log in and like 4 steps. And I'm like, all right, cool. But you guys could be doing something very similar, right? Because again, if you are just willing to literally spend 15 to 20 minutes investigating a new technology or something that comes up, that's 15 to 20 minutes more than the average business owner. Or like, I wouldn't even say the average. The majority of business owners will be able to do. They're too busy. So if you can go and digest, here's how this new technology or this new AI feature or this new tool Yeah, I'm going to DM you, Cody. I got you. If you can digest how this new technology or new tool or new update impacts their business, amazing. They're going to want to read that and check it out. You can make a lead magnet, which is a two-page PDF breaking down how something happens, and just send it to people, right? And you can just change their name and say, I built you a custom little thing for your business. With AI, it makes it so easy. All right, so AI meme ads, hammer them email ad or sequences, VO3 video hooks, ugly ad creatives, in-feed VSLs. These are just examples. Use your brain. Sorry. AI and pattern recognition to extrapolate the examples from there because each niche will vary. However, always there is something hot that the market wants to buy. I don't know why I'm speaking backwards, but in-feed VSL, yeah, it's basically a mini VSL, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes long. That just runs in the in-feed versus having you'd have to click over to the next page. Okay, advertorials, quiz funnels. There's tons of different examples on here. Okay, these are just a few that you could look at. Is this clear so far? You guys getting value from this? Cool. I'll break down some of these a little bit more. The hammer them email ad sequences, this comes from Jeremy Haynes. And basically all he does, yeah, just look up his stuff. The whole idea is that show up rates is a big problem, right? We talked about a real problem. Show up rates is a big problem now. So hammer them ads and emails are basically retargeting ads from the time that somebody opts into your webinar or to your call or something else like that. And then you just hit them with a bunch of different emails and a bunch of different ads to kind of keep the attention, keep things hot, answer objections, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. Yes. Awesome. So, and the real meta here is all of you guys in here are probably have a lot more marketing knowledge and know-how than the average person. You're probably all pretty good at marketing and you're good at like building out funnels and understanding funnel structure for the other businesses. But then when it comes to yourself, you just kind of, derp. You're like, I don't know how to do this. But just invert it, flip it for yourself. If you know to create lead magnets and content for other people, create lead magnets and content for yourself, for the business owners that you want to attract. It's actually way easier because you don't need to do it at scale. You guys are not trying to get hundreds and thousands of clients. You're trying to get like 3, 4, 5. So you guys could be really, really focused, hyper personalized, focused, all that stuff. Yeah. And again, being empathetic is like, I also struggle with this, right? It's easier to market other people than it is to market myself. So I understand that that's the case, but we got to flip out of that because you guys have the skills and the know-how and know what you need to do. Again, why do offers become hot? New technology emerges, ChatGPT, VO3, Nano Banana, things like that. There are new market trends. People have built their entire career off building AC funnels, right? Hormozi launches his book. You can guarantee that now people are going to start doing things from that book. You're going to see a bunch of different challenge and giveaway and sweepstake type of offers. There's a new app or new ads. You can go on WAP in school. Yeah, nice. You can go on WAP or you can go on school and like check out the things that are trending on there. A new cultural trend emerges, new problem emerges, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now, the question in here was, how do I stay on top of hot offers? How do I stay on top of hot offers? It's really hard to proceduralize this. Okay. It's really hard to just give you a step-by-step thing, but because it's really a function of caring, of paying attention, of following the right people, of knowing the right people, and just being active in the game. Okay. This is how you really stay on top of hot offers. Typically, by the time it's reached, the speed of something new to YouTube is pretty fast, but it's like the best source is just to know people. Okay. Know people, have friends, talk to people about what's working, create these relationships. And so I said, that's why being in masterminds and mentorships, attending events, following the right people, by being a fucking functioning human being who cares will always pay dividends. But here's some different tips for you. Number 1, follow industry leaders. Hormozi, Haynes, Godzi, Vaynerchuk, Yamama. Follow industry commentators and interviewers, people like Ryan Klog. This is a really good one. People who do like scams, right? Like they break down scam review channels, like little mini CoffeeZillas, right? They'll often point out interesting kind of marketing tactics that you're like, oh, cool, I can find this new client and I can find this new tactic and what people are doing right now. You can follow a funnel ad marketing review sources like Funnel of the Week, VidTow. Those are some good sources. Follow influencers. Okay, viral trends. See what's trending on WAP. See what's trending on school. Follow new technology. Again, you can just find people, creators who their entire business on Instagram is just every single time that something happens, they'll post some sort of update. So you can guarantee if you just follow that, you'll find out about the update pretty fast. Have a circle of friends and then pay fucking attention. Sorry for all the F bombs, but I wrote this last night and I just was feeling aggressive. So that's what you get. All that makes sense so far? Again, nothing I'm saying is like groundbreaking, but I'm just trying to get it across to you why this is important and how you need to start thinking. All right, so let me just show you an example. Okay, this is a half-baked example. This literally took me maybe 2 minutes. I don't even know actually what I'm about to read, so we're gonna discover it together. But this is just to show you like how like the barrier is so low, so low. So for example, I know for example that every time Hormozy writes a book, the entire industry shifts. How can it not when you sell 3.5 million books? The first thing I would do is get a copy of his book. Then I would upload it into AI and I would ask something like, this is not like a prompt. This is just random, something I wrote up. Here's my freelancing brief. You guys all have a freelancing brief. Hormozy just launched this book and a lot of business owners will be interested in it. Here's some info on types of offers. Okay. What info did I give? I just copy and pasted this whole presentation and dumped it in. And you guys will have this whole presentation. You can just dump it in. Give me a bunch of ideas. I got his 6K offer thing. How would you do it from that? His 12 playbooks. I'm not going to answer that question because I feel like you can think about it and you can come up with your answer to that question. Here's some info on types of offers. Give me a bunch of ideas that I could offer as a service that might be relevant. I attach the brief, the textbook, etc. How can you upload a copyrighted book? Pretty easy. Control C, Control V, and then you pop it in and it goes. Right? And you get something like this. Hot offers based on Hormozy's book. Here we go. Free offers, foot in the door. I mean, it's legal. It's not, I mean, you just pop it in there. You just find a PDF, find whatever. The million different ways to figure it out. Yeah. I don't even know how I got the TXT file, but I found it pretty easy somewhere else. Yeah, and you can just share the takeaways as well. You can literally just take a transcript from a YouTube video that broke it down. Boom. So here we go. Free offers. Money model audit. Analyze their current offers using Hormozy's framework. Identify 3 to 5 missing money model components. Create a visual flowchart of the improved sequence. Done. That actually sounds pretty sick. I would love somebody to come look at my program and say, you probably already heard about Hormozy's thing. I built you this little thing that kind of audited whatever, and you make it visual. People are suckers for visual. Lucid charts and whimsical and things like that. It's so easy. And you can literally code them with AI. That's the other crazy thing. Like that whole diagram, flowchart decision tree thing that I wrote, was just made with Claude. I just spoke into the mic and yelled at it and said, I think this happens, then this happens, then this happens. And then it just spit out the code and I just put the code in the thing and it was done. Okay. You guys can do something similar. Super, super easy. The next one, entry offers. Like I said, it's my first time actually even reading these. Win your money back challenge setup design. I will write all the copy for your ads, your landing pages, your emails. I'll create a tracking system for qualification and I will price it. That's pretty fucking good, to be honest. A giveaway funnel. AI powered menu upsell scripts. Create personalized upsell scripts using AI design, A/B testing, whatever. All those look pretty good to me. Complete money model architecture. Map entire customer journey from attraction to whatever. Rollover upsell system. I don't even know what these things are, and I don't even know if these things are good. But you know who can find out? You guys. You guys can do your market research. You guys know how to do market research for your clients, but you don't know how to do market research for your clients. Do you know what I mean? So what does market research look like? Here's this cool Hormozy thing. Do you want this? And you ask that 5 times. And then people will tell you, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And then they'll be like, but I do want this. And you'll be like, oh shit, people want that. Let me go sell that thing. Okay. You can talk to them. You can talk to them. Does that make sense? Do you guys see how easy that is? Cool. It's done. And you guys understand that the fact that, did anyone in here do this process already? Good. So if you didn't do this process, say, put a no in the chat. If you did not do this process when his book came out. All right. I want you to put your hand out like this. Everybody, put your hand out like this. And I want you to go like slap yourself. Okay. You should have known better. You guys are all marketers. You should have known better. This should have been done. Okay. You have to be fast. You have to rise, push yourself to a new standard. You have to. It's the only way that you're going to not just win, although you will win, but survive. Like have to. Good. Nick wants brownie points. Fortunately, brownie points don't buy you anything in life, you know? I'm just teasing a little bit. But do it. Okay. If something is that big in the marketplace, you have to be on top of it right away and know how to strike fast. Know how to strike fast. Okay. And you can see this is not very, very smart. Yeah. Good job, Nick. I'm just busting your chops. Like this right here is not anything fancy. Anyone can do this. Make sense? So who's going to implement this? Somebody tell me that. Who's going to implement this? Okay. Good. And when you implement it, I want you all to email me and tell me what was your result and experience. If all you do is just do this process for one person, you will have made a huge ROI, not just in terms of money, but from having the experience of like, oh shit, I need to be doing this. Every time there's a new market shift, I just move around. Yep, Andrew, that's perfect. That's genius. AI just makes it so easy to do this. Hey, I built you a custom bot that's trained on your business and Hormozi's money models. All you got to do is chat with it, and it'll tell you exactly how to apply his money models to your business. Oh, and by the way, here's a visual flow chart. And then inside, whenever they play around with the bot, after a few messages, it spits out a charm message. And it's just like, hey, this thing is really cool, right? Well, guess what? I'm an AI, but I think you should hire Connor because Connor's a really dope guy. Right? Look at it. He spent all this time building you this really cool bot. Don't you think that's worth at least trying out? He can build this whole thing for you. Okay? Get creative, get smart. All right. Let's keep going. Example number 2, Jeremy Haynes. Let's look at Jeremy Haynes. He's just another influencer in the internet marketing space. All I did, I was like, let me go to his most popular videos and let's zoom in. Okay. If you were going to use a video to make a hot offer, I know it's a little bit fuzzy. Which one of these videos looks pretty cool? Which one of these videos do you think would have some sort of meta or some sort of alpha? I mean, all of them. But if you had to pick one, maybe the VSL funnel. But if you had to pick something that would maybe give you an idea of a new hot offer, what would it be? Let's think for a little bit because I'm not satisfied with these answers. If you're trying to find a new hot offer, to make to somebody else, what do you think that would be? Again, any of these could potentially have it. But do you think that this video that says new Facebook ads algorithm update is killing your sales? Do this ASAP? I mean, that's the one that stands out to me. New Facebook ads. It's 2 months ago, so it's a little older, but still. New algorithm update is killing your sales. Here's what to do from this expert. Another one, I never heard of a DSL strategy. Someone stole my DSL strategy, so here's the original guide. But that sounds kind of cool. That's trending. Yeah, deck sales letter. So cool. It's like, all right, that would be another one. And again, you could put, I'm sure that there's alpha in any of these videos, and you could look at the most recent ones. But I'm telling you, like, all you got to do in here is you take the YouTube, you go in the transcript, and here's all you do. Pop them in the same chat above or use the same prompt as above. And then go, okay, now this. Crazy high-tech prompting. Okay, now this. So all I did was I put in this new Facebook ads algorithm update is killing sales. And it basically said, Facebook pushed a major algorithm update that's causing chaos. Before, if someone clicked your ad, it didn't convert, they'd see maybe 2 to 3 competitor ads mixed with other content. Now, the instant someone clicks an ad, the next 5 to 12 ads are all your competitors. Nothing else, just competitor after competitor. Here's his example. So what could you potentially do? 20 unique mechanism videos. Here's how we're different from XYZ competitor. 10 process content pieces, our 7-step process nobody else uses. Competitor comparison scripts, why clients choose us over specific competitor. Map out all the competitors. Here's a free offer. Analyze their messaging and offers, find the gaps to exploit. You could do a kind of like hammer them type of thing. Okay. Is this good? I have no fucking idea. Test it. I'm just giving you the most lazy thing in the world. One video, one transcript with the prompt, okay, now this. You guys can take it from there and carry the ball forward. But do you understand how this might be potentially a good offer? And by the way, let's say, for example, that you're sending an IGDM and they've left you on red. Do you think it would be kind of valuable to be like, oh, by the way, I saw this video. It's about the new algorithm ad update. Did you get a chance to like check that out? Oh, by the way, and then a couple days later, by the way, I made a little thing about what you could potentially do to fix this. I don't know if this is impacting your ads. You just become a source of value. Is this making sense? Does this seem like something that you guys are capable of doing and succeeding with? Good. This is one person, one influencer, one video, one prompt. The ideas are infinite.
And just to be
All right, let's look at an
clear,
example.
a big
Okay.
reason why we spent so much time like covering the foundations and the strategy stuff first is because the audience you're serving and the problems they need solved actually determines which tactic is going to be more appealing to them. Like you got to know your audience first, right? You got to know what problems they're struggling with. Then you can find what's hot in the market for specifically solving their problems. Because even if your lazy ass is not going to be the one figuring out how to do it, there's somebody in the market, if the audience is big enough, is going to figure out that's an urgent problem. Here's what's working to solve it. And then you can profit off of just bringing that to the people that need it solved. So,
Yep. 100%. Another thing too is these don't even have to be huge, crazy macro trends. These can be small little tactics. Hey, I saw VShred is doing this on their funnel. Have you tested this? Done. Super simple. And again, this is a way for you to follow up without just sending question mark, bumping this question mark. It's a way to follow up with value and be a source of value for other people. Let's look at another example. Nano Banana. Google just released a brand new tool. I don't know anything about it. I've seen some videos, but I've been building this, so I don't know. So I went into Claude, ChatGPT, and I pasted this. Here's my freelancing brief. Google just launched Nano Banana, and a lot of business owners will be interested in it. Here's some info on types of offers. I pasted this. Give me a bunch of ideas that I could offer as a service and might be relevant. And here it goes. It gives us some different things. Again, I don't know how good these are, but this is just like raw, straight out the box without any thinking. Create 20 branded virtual backgrounds that don't look cheesy. That's kind of cool. What is this? Transform customer testimonial screenshots into branded visual stories. That's kind of cool. And pro tip, blend this with the paid ads, paid community outreach strategies, and offer to create lead magnets or simple guides. I already mentioned this, explaining how to use the new tech. I promise that if you spend 10 to 20 minutes on a new tool and watch some quick YouTube videos, you will know 90 times more than the average business owner. Put your findings in a doc and or a workshop and share it. If you're in a paid community, be like, oh, I broke down. Here's GPT-5 just came out. Here's what I broke down, and paste that in the group. People will be like, wow, this is awesome. Super valuable. Done. Or you send that as a lead magnet to clients. Or if you want to do like Lorenzo's strategy, you could do a little mini workshop. Here's how to use Manus to make money. Here's how GPT-5 can make money. $17 free workshop, or like $17 free workshop. That doesn't make any sense. But $17 workshop, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And by the way, in that case study, there's another case study from Mr. Sava who talks about exactly how he stays on top of this process and how he uses it to do client outreach. And that is already in there, as well as a specific video. Here's his steps, though. Intentionally study high-performing content on YouTube, IG, and key niches. Spot patterns like funnels or offers used by big players, and pitch similar strategies to smaller businesses as borrowed credibility opportunities. Pay attention to recurring ads, emails, and buzzworthy offers. Analyze their marketing, screen record, and transcribe if needed, and use AI to break them down so you can learn from what's working, even from scams, without copying bad practices. I think AI added that. Use Facebook ad library to spot winning offers. Check affiliate payouts as funnel strength signals and cross-reference, blah, blah, blah. Use paid spy tools. Reach out to prospects. Boom. At the end of the day, you have to use your fucking brain. Sorry. Test things, try things. I can't do it for you. Nobody can. But understand the principles and try things. Make offers, see what works and what resonates. And again, I already mentioned this many times, but I'll put it here. Making timely offers like this is an incredible excuse for following up in a way that's actually valuable to people and worth their attention. Yo, did you see Hormozi's launch? Kind of crazy, right? LOL. I thought of you and put something together, show how you could implement that. By the way, here's a video I found talking about the same thing. Oh, yeah. Should be a second one. Hey, I know you're busy. Just bump in this case. You see it? Yo, by the way, I saw this video on Hammer Them ads from Jeremy Haynes. I know you're not doing any retargeting. I wrote a couple samples and made one with HeyGen to show you what it looks like. Here's another video on that ad retarget, by the way. Do you see that Nano Banana release? Kind of crazy, right? Check out what you can do with it. Boom. This is not like, again, I just wrote this stream of consciousness. This is zero editing, right? But it's just random, like, oh, check out this, check out this, check out that, check out that. Will somebody maybe tell you to fuck off? Maybe. But like, if someone tells you to fuck off for just providing them free value and thoughtfulness, fuck them. They're a bad person. Right? If they ignore it, that doesn't mean they're a bad person. It might just mean they're busy. Right? But when they look on it and they're like, oh, this guy is like relentless. I need him. Okay? But this should give you tons of permission where you don't have to come up with something clever or whatever. It's just provide value. And by the way, it's going to make you so much better as a marketer, because now you're studying what's going on, and you're studying what's going on in the market. You're paying attention to things. You're coming up with new ideas. You're slinging different whatever. Your finger's going to be right on the pulse for sure. All right, so this is the entire process right now on how to stay on top of hot offers. There's just one little thing. Plus, open loop, open loop, open loop. An ultra secret gift for some of y'all. Dun, dun, dun. But not yet. Not yet. Okay, let's talk about free offers. How to create value in seconds. Free offers are offers that you can, drum roll, make for free. For example, build-a-buyer reports. If only there was a bot that did really good build-a-buyer reports. Or voice analysis guides. If only there was a bot that did really good voice analysis for people. Or sample emails. If only there was a bot that wrote really good emails in a click of a button. Or sample ads. If only there was a bot that wrote really good sample ads in a matter of seconds. Okay? Somebody should go and do that if it's not been done before. Right? Free value. It literally takes seconds. You click it and it's done. With AI, the game is completely flipped. It's so easy to create real value for people in literal seconds using AI. Yours, ours, or anything else. Be creative and thoughtful. Build-a-buyer free reports have made people a lot of money. That is pound for pound, probably the one bot that has made the most money on the entire internet. Like, I can't tell you how many people, I don't even know who they are. I don't even know how they found the bot. Okay, this is the bot that's been ripped off by Redacted and Redacted. I won't say their names, but you already know exactly who they are. Okay, it's nothing like too crazy, but it's pretty damn good. It has made people a shit ton of money. So many people all the time are like, wow, you have no idea how much this bot has made. I'm like, okay, cool. I wish I got some of that. Give it to me. Yeah. It is always funny. Mario's a nice guy until you steal the report and claim it's yours. Again, I don't even care if you steal it. I do care if you steal it, but I really get mad when you say it's yours. That's the part that really makes me kind of mad. All right. Let's go a little bit more. Entry offers. Entry offers, again, we've talked a lot about these because hot offers mostly are for entry offers, but we'll go a little bit deeper on these. Entry offers are basically sample offers that allow the client to make an easy yes. You build momentum and they can see what working with you is like. I'm going to rant and I really want you to pay attention to this. When it comes, like typically the main objection that's stopping you from, or the business owner from working with you is cognitive friction, right? As long as you don't suck, which again, that, you have to make sure you don't suck. One of the big things is cognitive friction. Business owners want to grow, but they are busy. They have tons of different priorities. So again, they got a million things going on, a million fires to put out, a million priorities, and a million things they want to get done. They may want to solve a problem. Trust me, business owners are aware of the problems. I know 9,000 things that are wrong about our business. Like infinite things that are wrong about our business. Okay? I'm looking at one on Zoom right now. Just kidding. But I'm saying like, it's me. That's what I see. No, but I'm looking at infinite things that are wrong about the business. Okay? Problems and I want to solve those problems. You think I don't want to solve those problems? You think I don't want to make money? Of course. I even want to hire people, specific people to solve my problems. And I will even spend, not exorbitant, I will spend good amounts of money to hire them. And there may even be people here who I want to hire. The problem is I just don't have the time to really think through it, to make the decision, to weigh the pros and cons, to consider downsides and risks, to vet it, to come up with the application, to do all the work, to get you integrated with the team, right? I got too many other competing things. Or something as basic as setting you up in our Slack, right? Believe it or not, it's like, I don't even want to fucking I don't want to add this person to my Slack. It's too much work, so I'm just going to wait. Okay? Is this real life? Like, do you guys understand this is real life for many, many people? For business owners who want to hire you? It's the cognitive friction.
It really is true.
So true. This is why, you have to be obsessive.
And if you ask somebody to try to figure out like where and how you can help them, your chances of getting hired are basically zero. Like you need to come in with a clear, that's why we focus on offers, because it's like you got to be clear on what is the offer you're going to deliver and how it's going to help them. Because if you force them to make that decision, you're fucked.
Do you guys remember agency? We're going to talk about it in just a second. Do you guys remember what agency is? The agency ladder? Accountability is one part. Yep. So agency is about the accountability and the authority that you have. I want you to just have that in the back of your mind as we're thinking about the types of offers that you're going to make. So many of you don't realize it, but cognitive friction is often the biggest objection that's stopping you from getting clients. So know this and be obsessive about it. I literally mean be obsessive about it. Obsessive about it. How far can you go to make it so easy that all they have to do is just say yes? And it's like, done. You say yes, done. You don't have to think about anything. The work is done. I'm here. I'm resourceful. I'm figuring things out. I'll talk to the people. I'll get integrated. I'll talk to the team. I'll ask them. I'll send them an email. They can get me set up. Here's the invoice. Multiple ways for you to pay me. Here's this. Here's that. Here's that. Like obsessive about it. That's the energy that you carry. How easy can I make these people's lives? How easy? And this is, again, I know maybe you think I'm being rude for some of the questions that are in here when you guys are asking like a question about what about this? Or how do I do this? It's because if you don't learn how to be a resourceful person, you will not be able to apply anything in this workshop. And I know it seems silly, but the way you do one thing is the way you do anything. If you cannot extrapolate in here how to take one example and copy it into another example, you will never be resourceful enough to be the type of person that people want to hire again and again and again and again. This is why I'm on your ass if you're asking dumb questions. It doesn't even offend me or annoy me or bother me. I have a lot of patience when I start to teach, but it offends me for you. It offends if your default is let me ask mommy and daddy of the solution to the problem versus let me figure it the fuck out, especially now with AI, when you can just ask it any question on God's green earth, you're not going to be able to make it to the level at which you want, which I want everyone in here to succeed massively. Does that make sense? And do you understand that I'm trying to be like honest and blunt, but helpful? I'm not trying to put anyone down or be rude, but you have to get this into your DNA. Insanely resourceful. I will figure this out. I'll fly to China and fucking talk to whoever I got to talk to figure this thing out. This is just a life skill to be resourceful. If you can't figure out how to copy and paste something, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And again, with AI, you can literally, I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I've gone to AI and I'm like, I don't even know what question I have or what problem I'm trying to solve. I need you to help me figure out the question, then we can figure out the solution. Okay? So like any possible thing that you could possibly want the answer to, you just go in AI and you talk to it enough until you actually understand what the problem is, and then you can figure out what the solution is and be resourceful. Yeah, Phil, that's awesome. That's perfect. A great example of that. So again, be obsessive. Clients don't want to get married to you, but they might take you out on a hot date, right? That's what an entry offer does. An entry offer it's a small offer where there's not a lot of risk, right? I'm not asking you for 8, you're not asking for 3, 4, you're not asking for money over time. You're asking for a discrete amount of money with something very, very simple. It's very, very low friction to implement. And it's easy for me to be like, yes, because if you fuck it up, it's like, all right, well, whatever. It was a few $1,000s. That's fine. But then when I give you that opportunity and you just crush it, then I'm like, wow, I want to work with this person more. And I'm already in momentum. It's so much easier to stay in momentum once you start in momentum. I think that Fig Newton guy talked about that. Okay. An example, if you send me sample ads and then pitch me writing more ads for X dollars, then I might say yes, because all I got to do is literally share the link with my media buyer. That's it. If all I have to do is you give me a link and I just go copy paste, I don't even want to do that, to be honest. Like, just to be frank, I really don't even really want to do that. But if that's all I have to do and you just send me a link and I just got to press 2 buttons with the credit card and it's like, even that credit card, it's like, wow, I just click buttons and maybe these ads work. Awesome. And if they crush and the ads look great, then I will go out of my way to be like, fuck, I need that person because you're top of mind for me. Cool. Again, an entry offer must be hot. You need the creative probably for sure. But you can do image creatives and things like that. Be plug and play, exactly. Here's some other criteria for good entry offers. Instant value, okay? Low to zero friction, a clear need, low risk for the client to try. And again, what are the types of risk? Somebody try to give me like a little taxonomy or some types of risk. What could a client potentially risk by taking you on an offer? Time, money, opportunity. Yes, the big one is reputation and brand. If it's something that can negatively impact me, then then I'm not going to give you that responsibility, right? And so again, and then you can go out of your way to address that. Like, oh, I'll make sure that every single one of these ones, like, works with you and does whatever and blah, 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 blah. Make it super, super easy. Okay, high perceived value, low time. Obviously, like, again, I believe in providing a lot of value, but we do need to be realistic. You don't need to be like spending all this time on free work, right? Because you can provide so much value with AI tools in literally seconds. Repeatable, natural upsell, etc. Okay, a lot of these are common sense, but here's a nice little checklist for you on here as well. Yeah, audits are okay. Yeah, audit is like audits are hard because there can be friction. For example, like if I want you to really audit my stuff, I have to give you access to my ESP, and if I don't know you or don't trust you, it's like I don't really like want you to be like digging around in there, right? But if you can give me like an audit of the emails that you, if you can give me an audit of the emails that you can kind of see uh, externally, and then give me some sort of deliverable, like some sort of new email or something like that, that's a little bit better. Okay. Again, you have to use your brain based on the relationship and based on your specific offer. But um, yeah, Brian's got really good feedback in there as well. Again, none of this is gospel. Use it to guide your decisions. Okay, here we go. Here's rant number 2 or number 3. Now we get to your core money makers. Ideally, your entry offer is already set up the need for you to make this offer. Here we go. Most importantly, when it comes to expansion offers, where you make your money. Okay, I'm going to give you very specific things, but we have people who have all kinds of skill sets and offers and things in here. So what I really, really want to do is drill into your head the direction that you need to go in. Okay, for example, imagine that there's a mountain over there, and I'm just telling you, you need to get to the top of that mountain. It's going to be really hard for me to tell you exactly which path to take because I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know, what your skill level is. I don't know any of that stuff. But I'm just giving you the direction in which you should try to be moving when it comes to your expansion offers. And the direction you should be moving is more agency and more value. How can I provide more value to this client? And how can I get in a position where there's more agency? Again, agency is accountability and authority. So tasks is the lowest amount of agency possible. It's still good. Owning an entire channel is a little more agency. Owning an entire function is even more agency. Owning an outcome and then being responsible for overall growth. As you move up this, you can move up in terms of the amount of money that you charge. Again, these numbers here are kind of arbitrary, but it's just to give you kind of an example. So that's the first thing, is to understand the agency ladder. That's the direction. You want to move up the ladder. The next thing is you want to understand the different types of compensation models. I don't think I really need to go into that, but it's basically retainer all the way into equity. Most people are going to be in retainer or retainer plus performance. The other dimension that's important to understand is time. Okay. So for example, you can make your expansion offer something that only goes for 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 12 months. Again, the actual time is arbitrary, but chunking things down into specific time blocks is going to be very, very helpful when trying to sell your expansion offer. If I still don't really trust you, it's easy for me to say, all right, let's do a 3-month commitment and see what it's like at the end of the day. And you can also negotiate your rates and things like that if they're willing to work with you for a longer period of time. Okay. Oh, that got repeated. That's not good. Well, you get it twice because you guys needed to hear it twice. This is important for you to understand. Deliverables, mechanisms, outcomes. Many of you understand this, but I'm just going to reiterate it so it's really, really clear. There's a million different ways to explain this same concept, but however you get it, make sure that you get it. In marketing, you can either sell a deliverable, a mechanism, or the actual outcome. And in general, outcomes are better than mechanisms and better than deliverables. This is in general because even though most people know the outcome they want, they may not know or believe that this specific mechanism or this specific deliverable can help them get there. That makes sense? So this depends on the type of offer you can make. So you could talk about you could say, I'm going to help you make 30% more from your email list. Or you could say, I'm going to I'm going to fix the deliverability. Or I'm going to do a deliverability audit. Do you see deliverability audit is a deliverable, fixing your deliverability is a specific mechanism. The outcome is getting more money from the email list. Okay. Everyone, if you have an email list, probably wants more money from the email list. But a smaller subsection of that believes that deliverability is very important. A pretty good amount, but still, it's a smaller amount believes that deliverability is the thing that will get them to making more money. An even smaller amount of that will believe that the deliverability audit is going to lead to more money. Okay. I'm not saying to always do outcomes because sometimes people are really clear. They know and believe fuck, my deliverability is fucked. I need someone to help. So you can go directly for that. Okay. And be very specific and targeted. But it's important just to understand what is the thing that I'm offering and how do I connect it? Because even if you do a deliverable, you want to connect it back to the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you can lead with the outcome even if you're using the same deliverable. Like you can literally promise to help people make more money with their email list, even if you're an email deliverable guy. And then when they say yes to that, you start with the audit as the first step of delivering that outcome instead of just selling them on whether or not they want that outcome. Like instead of selling them on whether or not they want that specific deliverable, right? It's like, I'm going to help you make money with your email list. All right, cool. You want that? Well, here's where we start. And that's like, there's way less resistance at that point because they already committed to wanting the outcome.
100%. So many of you know this, but it's just like, even for myself, it's really important to have a refresher and have nice concepts so you can organize and know, am I doing an outcome, a mechanism, or a deliverable in this case? So again, if they have to do the math in their head, if I believe I can grow my business by getting rid of, I don't know what means getting rid of. So anyways, interpret it, watch the videos. Here, you have to start attaching yourself. This is really important. And I understand why most people don't do it. It's because they're scared. You have to start attaching yourself to how you're going to help their business be better, more than attaching yourself to specific deliverables. Most of you are only selling tasks because that's the only thing you believe that you're capable of doing. You see yourself as a task person because you're scared of accepting the accountability of being an outcome person. And so you're only going to make task money, not outcome money. That's the real thing. But you got to put your big boy and your big girl pants on and start taking accountability for what you're doing rather than waiting for mommy and daddy to tell you this is what you should be doing and selling. Again, I know I'm being harsh, but like that's actually what's going on. If you're being honest with yourself, for most people, that's what's going on. You're afraid to accept the accountability. You're afraid to be an outcome person. And so you're only going to make task level compensation. And guess what? Guess who's getting really, really good at task level tasks? The robots. So if you are a task person, you're competing with the robots. If you're an outcome person, less so. Does this make sense for everyone? This is really important. It requires confidence and risk. If you do nothing else, make a commitment to yourself to be the best version of yourself for the next 30 days. You all know exactly which tactic and outreach method that you're going to go for. Make a commitment to to just try on being a bigger outcome-driven person, taking on a little more risk and adventure, and being willing to fail. Because inevitably, you're going to get some bumps and bruises along the way, and that's okay. You don't even have to commit to doing it for the rest of your life. Just commit to doing it for the next 30 days as you implement the stuff from this workshop. Can everyone do that? Cool. You don't really have a choice. That's literally your only option. But yeah. Okay, cool. Again, we talked about the stuff that you own. Okay, so you have references on there. This is just a little bit more on the compensation. The reason it's important to understand this is it lets you create the offer. You can adjust the time, you can adjust the type of compensation, and you can adjust what you're responsible for. Okay? Those specifics will be different for each individual in business, but these are the dimensions you can play around with. Here are some basic criteria for expansion offers. Nothing groundbreaking on here. All pretty simple. Here's another one, is offer enhancements and pricing. Enhancements make your offers more valuable. Again, don't go over like heavy-handed with this. You're doing B2B type stuff, so really you can just oftentimes you can just focus on the main core thing that you're doing. But there are other ways to sort of stack bonuses and enhancements in a way that is attractive. Just don't overdo it, right? I'm going to give you 40 templates. It's like, this guy doesn't want 40 templates if you're just fucking writing the emails for him, right? You don't give him more homework. Don't give him a bunch of shit to do. But just create more speed, more access. So here's some of the things you can do. Additional audits and assessments. Again, this is for an expansion offer. Types of AI infrastructure. I'll build you a bot that does XYZ. I'll build you an agent that does XYZ. More volume, right? Oh, you want me to write 30 emails? Awesome. I'll also write you a couple different, I'll make some lead magnets and stuff in there too, right? You can add that into the package. Access. I'll give you access to me, right? I have a 24-hour turnaround time. I'll give you my WhatsApp. I have a little WhatsApp channel. I have something in here. Done. The speed of delivery, how fast you can fulfill things, certain types of guarantees, and then reporting and intelligence, right? Oh, I do like a market research report because I use it to get more clients, but I do that every single month too, and I'll just like send that to you, right? Again, you don't even need to advertise these things. You can just do it as added bonus. It doesn't take a lot of work. It's work that you should already probably be doing, but it can add a lot more value. It also gives you negotiating room. This is something that I'll be talking about a little bit later, but it gives you some negotiation. If you kind of bake this into your offer and they want to talk down on price, instead of being like seeming desperate of like, oh, you'd be like, all right, well, I'll just take off some of these things and yeah, we can do it for that price. Okay. Gives you a little bit of flexibility. For most people, you don't even need to do this. But again, in the spirit of being the best version of yourself, start thinking about these kind of things as enhancements. Here are some basic, like pricing is very, very hard because pricing changes and pricing depends on so many different factors. But I really spent a lot of time looking at some industry standards, breaking things down, and basically finding different types of multipliers. So as you move from task to channel or channel to multi-channel or functions or stuff like that, you can kind of get a sense of how you should raise your prices. And also ways that you can set up your contracts and offer sort of discounts. Okay. This is all like standard business practice. It's just ways to proceduralize it a little bit more for you. And this will be in some of the bots that you guys will have access to as well. Okay. And here's a little freelancer guide reference. I'm not going to go through all the math because I don't like math, but you'll be able to see some of this stuff on here. And again, this is not gospel. I'm not saying any of this is even true. This is just to give you a mental model so you understand, okay, I want to move from task to owning a specific channel, writing emails to just owning emails. How much more should I be able to charge? If I started charging 2K, I should charge anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 times that amount. So go from like 2 to 5, stuff like that. Okay. But there's so many nuances based on your skill and what your goal is, your strategy, who you're talking to, how much money you can make them. It would be impossible to really give a clear, honest pricing guide. This is just to give you some mental models. Okay. And tools for you to adjust and play around with things. Cool. And some examples of the negotiation. I'll be circling back on this a little bit more. Here's also an example of what that might look like for email marketing. Again, don't overstress the example. Just kind of follow the model. Anything you can do to add AI, add volume, add speed, and add guarantees is going to make your offer better. That's it. Very cool. Here's some other new models to test that you could probably have seen out there. Things like the unlimited model, right? Where you basically say, I'll give you unlimited work, right? It's a 48-hour turnaround time. I work on one thing at a time or one funnel at a time. But it's kind of this idea of like, it's unlimited for like $5,000 a month. I'll just give you unlimited copy. You can get ads, emails, stuff like that. And you just tell me like when you need it. Okay. That's a really great model, especially with AI. The fractional model, sort of like fractional CMO, giving just specific access. That's more of a consulting model. And then there's also things like AI infrastructure, where you're building out specific infrastructure, you're installing it for them, then you're running it for them and offering support on that as well. Okay. Each one of these is its own training. And, there are entire courses and coaching programs built around each one of these. So it's a lot to go into. But just to kind of give you a sense of some more creative ways to structure your offer. And by the way, you can just dump these into AI and say, give me some more like this based on my skill set and based on these trainings, and it'll be able to recommend new things for you. That makes sense for everybody? Cool. Then we also have premium and decoy offers. Again, most people don't even need these. But premium offers is basically like, look, there's always a small percentage of your market who wants to pay top dollar. So might as well have that offer available because you may get it, right? But it should be so ridiculous that it's just like, it feels uncomfortable. It feels like no one will ever take that, because then it can also serve as a decoy offer, right? And by the way, I started recommending this based on some of the mentorships and things I'm doing. And one of the guys in the mentorship, he has a lot of clients where he's on calls with them. And I was like, and we're trying to restructure his offers for new people where he can just do the deliverable because he doesn't really need to be on the calls. But I asked him, I was like, well, like, what would it take you? How much would someone have to pay you for you to feel good and excited about being on the call? And he's like, oh, well, if they did like, 10K a month. I'm like, awesome. So make an offer that's 10K a month, right? Where if they take you up on it, awesome. You're getting paid a good amount of money, and you know it's good enough that you're comfortable being on that call, and it also serves as a decoy to make the other standard offer seem a lot more attractive. If supply is high quality but limited, how do we convey that without sounding like it's a marketing trick? Just say it for what it is and explain why it's the case. That's it. And say, this is not a marketing trick. That's how you do it. If you want them to know it's not a marketing trick, just say, hey, it's not a marketing trick. Works pretty good. Mario does it all the time, and it is a marketing trick when he does it. All right. Very cool. Overall, on offers, you don't need all five types to succeed, but you need to understand why each exists and when to use them. Most importantly, you need an expansion offer and probably an entry offer. It's like a funnel. Don't even think of it like a funnel. It is a funnel. We talk about the psychology. And again, you guys will have access to all of this. And I left a note for myself to tell me, ye shall not pass yet. Because would you guys like to see and get a ton of different tools and bots that will allow you to fulfill both entry and expansion offers based on stuff that is hot right now? Interesting. All right. Good idea. Interesting. Trick question for sure. And would you guys like to see a very, very fancy, sophisticated, powerful way to stay on top of the market, your finger on the pulse every single moment without really having to do any sort of work? Interesting. Yeah, I would be interested in that too. Okay. So we will cover that in just a second. But we do have a public service announcement from one of our dear friends in here. And we're going to cover that in just 1 second. But I'm going to turn it over to our good friend, Mr. Mario. He has some choice words for all of you.
I do. I have many choice words. I was letting Luke be the hero of this whole week, sharing a lot of value with you guys, and now I got to come in and tell you guys what you don't want to hear. Getting yelled at. Hope you guys are ready to get yelled at, because it's going to happen, whether you want to or not. Let me share this real quick. Hopefully you guys are feeling good right now, though. And you're all excited about going out and applying what Luke taught and getting clients. You can see my screen, right? By the way. How many of you guys are going to go out there and actually apply what Luke shared so far to go get clients? Come on, I want to see it. And how many of you guys really believe that that's going to happen? That you're really going to go out there and do it? Because you have everything that you need, right? You do. All right, cool. I hear you guys saying it. And I know that you want to believe it too, but unfortunately, I have to come in and be the reality check for you guys. So this is really important. I want you guys to listen. I'm willing to be the bad guy and tell you guys what you don't want to hear. Okay? Luke can be the hero. He gets to share all the fucking bots and the fancy frameworks and the formulas and all the cool Gamma docs. And I got to come in and be the bad guy to keep it real for you guys. Because the purpose of this workshop was to give you a crystal clear roadmap on what to do to get clients. That was Luke's role. And we wanted to clear up all the confusion and indecision that stops you in your tracks. That's why we spend so much time covering stuff, from the basic fundamentals to tactical, actionable stuff, everything in between, right? And we wanted to show you the exact actions to take in your specific situation to deliver the fastest, highest leverage results. So you don't waste weeks or months or even years feeling stuck, spinning your wheels, being trapped in the exact same spot. And I think we can all agree we've delivered on that. And by we, I mean Luke mostly delivered on that. I just made some funny jokes in the comments every now and then. But can we all agree that Luke delivered on what we promised to give you guys? Clarity, action, theory, everything you guys need so that everyone on this call is clear about what you're supposed to do next. Okay, cool. Good. I mean, between the training we've gone through together and the tactics we showed you and the offers we walked through and the bots we're going to share with you, we did share some bots already, and a decision tree that gives you a literal step-by-step visual roadmap for getting clients. I mean, that was crazy. There shouldn't be anyone on this call who doesn't know what to do. And as long as you're honest with yourself and committed, like you guys all told me you were a second ago, and consistent with taking the correct actions, with proper volume and execution, you will land clients. That is a fact, almost a mathematical certainty. I'm extremely confident in that. In fact, I challenge anyone on this call, to do all the right things for 30 days at the volume and the level of quality that you know is reasonably expected. Do it for 30 days without getting results. I don't think it's going to happen at all. I don't think it's possible, right? Highly improbable. Ryan says statistically impossible. So if you commit to the process over the next full 30 days, and you did all the homework from the workshop and followed what we told you to do, and you somehow did not land a client, if you do all this stuff, then I literally want you to message me or Luke and we'll help you figure it out because we care. So that's open to any of you guys. However, let's be real here. Because even though our goal for this workshop is to have a 100% success rate, like that's our actual goal. That's what we really want. We want to push it as close to 100% as we possibly can. Even though we would love for every single person on this call right now to land at least one client and reach the next stage as a freelancer, is that going to happen? Realistically, it's not going to happen for everyone. Told you guys, I'm bringing the bad news here. I know we were all riding high on our emotions and committed and talking about counting the money before we even fucking collect it, right? Because things looked easy. And the truth is that it might not happen for you. There are people on this call right now who were literally committed a second ago and telling me that they're gonna make it happen, that it might not happen for. And that has nothing to do with the Client Avalanche system. In fact, the only thing that could prevent you guys from getting results, what is it? This isn't really a trick question, right? You guys probably know the answer to this. Good. I'm glad you guys are taking ownership of that. I will pass this on to my legal team and we'll use this if we have to when you guys don't get results, if you don't get results. It's the one variable that Luke and I can't possibly control. No matter how many fancy flowcharts he builds or bots or a fucking strategy, it's you. Because even though everyone is feeling great right now and inspired and motivated and like nothing can stop you, which was our intention, right? To give you guys that inspiration and the tactical stuff and the strategy, everything you realistically need to get results. The bad news is the motivation is all a temporary boost. And after this workshop ends and you're no longer on Zoom calls where you're tapping into shared collective energy with hundreds of people who are all trying to accomplish the same goals and dreams as you, what's going to happen? You're going to be back at this again alone. And yes, you're going to be much more equipped to actually move forward even on your own this time, right? So things are going to be different. You're not going back to square one and ground zero. You have a fuck ton more of stuff at your disposal than you had before this workshop. Because you have a deeper understanding of what it actually takes to thrive as a marketing pro in 2025, plus a bunch of tools that can actually help you. And yes, Luke and I will still be rooting for you from a distance. But after this workshop, we have to get back to our lives too. So the responsibility to execute after this workshop falls on your shoulders. You're going to have to consistently put the work in. You're going to have to make sure you do all the right things. Even when you bump into obstacles, even when life gets in the way, and even when you don't feel like it. You know how many times there was as a freelancer where I had to do something I didn't want to do? Even now as a business owner, how many times I have to do something that I literally do not want to do? A lot. Because nobody else is going to be watching over you, making sure that you do it. At the end of the day, it's your career, your life that's actually at stake here. And yes, you can use AI to help you, right? You can talk to the bots, and that can help to stir up some motivation. But the thing is, even using the bots itself is a decision that you have to make. We haven't figured out yet how to get the bots to reach through the computer screen and bitch slap you into taking action whenever you're falling off. Maybe we can get Kai to start working on that, and eventually he'll probably figure it out. But he hasn't figured it out yet, right? So like right now, we can't slap you through the screen. You got to open up the fucking bots and actually make the conscious decision to use them. And the truth is, if you guys are actually willing to be honest with yourself, so far I think you guys have actually done a really good job of being honest about things. People admitted to shit that I wouldn't expect people to admit to, right? But if you're willing to be honest with yourself, a lot of you already know what's going to happen after this workshop. I'm not saying it to be mean, right? You know whether or not you're truly committed and willing to walk through fire to get results that you say you want, or if you're more likely to make excuses and give yourself a way out when it comes time to putting the work in. You guys all know that, right? You can feel it. You don't have to admit it, but you can feel it. And to be clear, we're not blaming you or shaming you for any of that. That is a natural human response to doing uncomfortable shit. That's going to push you out of your comfort zone. And literally, like, my natural pattern is to avoid doing uncomfortable shit. A lot of times I have to get bitch slapped into actually doing it, too. So it's not like a blame or a shame kind of thing. But I would be doing you a great disservice if I wasn't bringing awareness to the possibilities. I told you, I have to be the fucking bad guy here. I got to play the villain. Because if I told you that everything was going to be great and you're all going to go out and make a bunch of money, guaranteed, and nothing could possibly go wrong, I would be lying to you. And I would be setting you guys up for disappointment. Because we want to see you win, so we're not going to do that. And if you're the only possible thing that can get in your own way and prevent you from getting the clients and living the life that you want, what does that actually mean? It means you should be proactive about preventing that from happening. You should be doing every single thing in your power to make sure that that does not happen and that you aren't even allowed to get in your own way and stop yourself from getting results. If you know that all it takes is just 30 days of consistent action to finally get over the hurdle and build real momentum as a marketing pro, which is what Luke told you, then you should be stacking the deck in your favor and making sure you have everything you need so that you're forced to take action over those 30 days. Does that make sense to you guys? Like if it's not a tactical problem or a strategy problem or a knowledge problem, and you know that this system is actually going to work for you if you apply it, then the only thing left to do is to make sure that you guys do whatever it takes to make sure you do the work. Like that makes sense, right? This means making sure you're in the right mindset with enough resilience to push forward when things go off plan, because things will go off plan. It means making sure you have others holding you accountable and calling you out on your bullshit when you're trying to make excuses on not taking action. And it means having the proper guidance on all the little micro adjustments you'll make as you actually start following and implementing the roadmap that we handed you. Whether it's building out your Upwork proposals or dialing in your outreach or communicating with clients or negotiating fees or getting help and confidence when actually coming up with your offers and delivering those offers for clients. These are the things that will make the biggest difference. It's not just the thinking about it, it's the actual execution of these things that we spent the last 3 days covering. And that's the way you can add certainty to actually getting clients. And in case you haven't guessed yet, that's what we want to help you with next. Yes, inside Genesis. How many of you knew that we were going to talk about Genesis? Probably all of you, right? You probably should have known that we were going to talk about Genesis. if a lot of big wins come out of Genesis and we want to help you get big wins, doesn't it make logical sense that we'd want to talk to you about Genesis so that we can continue to help you get big fucking wins? But there's something I want to talk about that has to do with Genesis that you guys haven't heard before. Because, yes, I want to help you inside Genesis, but I want to help you in an even more structured way than we've ever offered before. And I don't even think the Genesis members on this call know about this. Maybe a few of you because we have big mouths, right? But starting this Monday, on Labor Day, where you're supposed to be celebrating work, we're going to fucking all get to work. Because we're running a dedicated 4-week client acquisition sprint starting this Monday, which means the next month of our lives is going to be completely dedicated to helping you guys get more fucking clients. And the sole purpose of this sprint is to remove any potential bottlenecks that can stop you guys from getting results in action. When we move past the theory and the teaching and get into the actual implementation of this stuff. So each Monday for the next 4 weeks, we'll hop on Zoom together, kind of like we're doing now, but obviously in a smaller group. And we will use the collective intelligence of the group to make sure that you're constantly moving forward and actually forcefully implementing the stuff that we covered during this training. And since we already gave you the training during this workshop, this means we don't have to waste any time teaching during these calls. The calls are going to be really light on theory and teaching and really heavy on execution and implementation in straight up action. So we'll meet an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever the calls go for. And we're going to make sure that we spend our time keeping those calls focused on taking the direct actions that bring you all results. If you have questions, we'll answer your questions. If you need advice, we'll give you advice. If you want us to review your outreach, we'll look through that and show you how to improve it. And that's true for any of the client getting tactics that we talked about over the last 3 days. Upwork proposals, we look at that. If you want to make your nuclear VSL, we'll look at that for you. Anything that you're actively taking action on, we will help you execute at the highest possible level, making sure that you literally have no excuses stopping you from moving forward. In other words, we're here over the next month to serve as your leverage and ensure that every action you take has the highest possible chance of paying off for you. And just like the Client Avalanche system was designed to adapt to you, this client getting sprint takes that customization to the next level. Because you can get live, real-time, individualized help that ensures you're constantly making progress. And you get that every single Monday for the next 4 weeks. You get our full undivided attention. It's going to be me and Luke both leading the calls. And those calls are just the start of what we're going to accomplish over the next month. Because in between these Monday calls, you'll get homework. Not homework that's just for the sake of doing it. I'm talking about specific homework to your freelancing business, your business as a marketing pro, that allows us to track your actions and make sure that you're being accountable and doing the stuff that you said you're going to do. We're going to make sure that you guys actually honor your commitments and that you're actively doing the right things. Because when you aren't, we're going to call your ass out publicly and shame you for it. And we're going to bully you into getting clients. Because that actually works. Shaming works. And we want to make sure that the fire stays lit in you. I don't want you people getting hyped up during a 3-day workshop, saying you're going to do all this shit, and then letting reality set in over the weekend, and then you go back to doing things the old way. Oh, I'll put it off. No, I want you guys working with us, keeping the fucking candle lit, so that you're taking all the right actions daily until the universe has no choice but to spoon feed you clients because you're taking so much action. And that's because we care. And that's what it takes to actually get results. We have to keep that fire lit and make sure it stays lit and keep you guys moving forward. And of course, there's a ton of other resources inside Genesis designed to make your journey so much easier. This client getting sprint is just a layer that we're adding on top of what we already have, right? And it's going to make everything else we do way more effective. For example, when you join Genesis, you're also going to get access to all of our copywriting and marketing bots. We're at 50 plus bots at this point. Honestly, I lost count. It might be well into the 50s at this point. And I'm talking about bots that can pretty much write any kind of copy a client could ever reasonably ask you for. All kinds of ads and talking head scripts and VO ads and meme ads and ugly AI ads, et cetera, UGC ads. We have bots for all that shit. We have click driver email bots or book a call emails or full-blown email sequence bots or hammer them warm-up email bots. It's ridiculous. Any kind of email you guys would possibly want to write. The Mario bot, which can write super high personality emails and any other kind of copy that you guys want. Plus, we have bots for writing book a call VSLs and in-feed VSLs and advertorials and Google Doc sales letters and low-ticket sales pages. It's honestly insane. Plus tons of strategy bots that help with offers and mechanisms and all that stuff too. Like I said, I literally lose count. But the point I'm trying to make is that basically anything a client is willing to pay you for, you can fulfill much faster at a much higher level by using the Genesis bots. And we're adding new bots every single month. We're talking about 5 to 10 new bots being added to Genesis every single month because we have a dedicated Genesis AI growth engineering team that's actively building these new bots each month. We meet with them at least twice a month to get people on track and give them everything they need to build amazing bots for the rest of the community. And then once these bots pass our quality standards, we upload them into the Genesis members area for all of our members to use. So if you think the 50, 55, whatever the amount is of the bots that we have now is incredible, just wait to see what happens as we consistently start adding 5 and 10 new bots a month. Bots that you can use on entry offers too. So the bots is absolutely insane. Just the bots alone, right? But as a Genesis member, you also get the opportunity to attend weekly Business of Freelancing calls with Brian Sparinello. So in addition to the calls that me and Luke are doing every Monday to help you guys get clients, you can also go to a Thursday call with Brian, who will also help you get clients. And you've met Brian on this call, some of you for the first time. It's very obvious how dialed in Brian is, right? He's super high level as a copywriter, but even better than that is he's super dialed in as a freelancer, which is what a lot of you guys need. He has both. He's a high-level copywriter who actually understands the business. And I don't think you guys know how rare that is to have somebody who can fulfill at both of those levels to the level that Brian does it at. And he can help you make sure that you get the most out of all the client opportunities that are going to be coming your way. He can help you communicate with clients, set up the right deals, negotiate, make sure your ass is covered in case things go south. That's another big one. All that stuff. You can meet with Brian each Thursday, and he'll help you with that. His trainings are really fucking good. A lot of the frameworks in this training came from calls that Brian helped do in the past. And that's not even all we have on Thursday. Because after Brian's call, you get to come to another call with me and Luke. So you don't just get us on Monday, you also get us on Thursday. And these are our weekly certainty calls. They're pretty much open-ended. We meet for 2+ hours. Sometimes we go 2.5, 3 hours, depending on if we have hard stops. But it's a minimum of 2 hours every single Thursday where we help you with anything that you guys need help with. We'll review copy for client work that you're working on or for your own self-promotions, the stuff that you're using for outreach, whatever. You can ask us strategy questions, business questions. You can ask us questions about clients or deal structuring. You can get help building bots if you want to build bots that help you with fulfillment once you're stacked out with more clients than you can handle, or bots that you want to build and sell to clients. It's insane. Basically, whatever you need that's going to move the needle for you, we can help you with on those Thursday calls. And if all you did inside Genesis was use the bots and then come to these Thursday calls consistently, you will get massive wins. And that's not something that I'm telling you to try to sell you on Genesis. I'm telling you that because it's what actually happens for pretty much everyone who comes to the calls consistently. People who are making zero money this time last year are now making 6 figures a year. Some of them are on track to make multiple 6 figures this year. People who had no clients last year. You can talk to Cosmin or Fernando. Fernando used to literally join in January on lunch break, not even a lunch break. He used to have to sneak out to the bathroom at his construction job and take calls from the porta potty. So this guy would literally have to fake needing to take a shit so he can come to our weekly Genesis calls because he was working construction. Now he's literally one of the top media buyers for one of the top agencies in the world, and he's on track to make multiple 6 figures this year. He went from 0 clients, 0 money, to running multi-million-dollar funnels on Facebook and collecting insane performance bonuses at 20 years old. It's crazy. But the calls with me and Luke and the accountability that we're going to give you are great. The calls with Brian are great. The bots inside Genesis that all the big names in the space are using, whether they talk about it or not, to write their copy is obviously great. But there's something else you guys get access to inside Genesis that Genesis members don't even know about. And if a few of you knew about the client getting sprint, I don't think any of you actually know about this part. Because we've been quietly building it behind the scenes, and it makes client acquisition as easy as it could possibly be. It's called the Client Oracle because it sees and knows everything required for getting high-paying marketing clients. Here's a little map that Kai gave us, trying to explain to idiots like me how the fucking Oracle works, because it's way more complex than you guys could possibly even imagine. And I'll get Luke to give you a less retarded walkthrough of this thing. But not only is the Oracle trained on this workshop, plus all of Brian's freelancing calls and frameworks, it also updates with new strategies from members of our community, plus an army of hand-picked experts and creators. So as the market adjusts, right, we told you guys to follow creators and influencers and people who have a say in the space. We pointed out Jeremy Haynes, who we pay. We're in his mastermind, right? Well, what if you had the Oracle automatically tracking a bunch of the top influencers and studying what they're putting out and analyzing the trends and helping you find the hottest possible areas to serve and offers to make around the clock? An advanced AI system that's doing all of this. That's what the Oracle does. This Oracle literally knows more about client acquisition than any human on the planet. So not only can you ask it anything you want whenever you want specific advice, but the thing gets smarter and smarter every single day. And plus, it connects to all the freelancing bots that we shared during this training, plus all the bots that you would need to execute your entry or expansion offers. So you can literally run your entire freelancing business inside the Client Oracle. And like I said, this thing is constantly identifying emerging trends and tactics and new in-demand entry offers. So you're always able to capitalize on red hot segments of the market at all times. But here's the craziest part. The Oracle is also connecting to a real database of over 1,500 pre-vetted marketing clients, people who are known to hire marketing help. So like we tried to make it as easy as possible for you guys to find clients. We gave you all the sources of clients on this workshop. But people still popped in the chat, well, how do I actually find these people? Who do I reach out to? The Oracle knows all that. It's loaded up with 15 pre-vetted marketing clients. And it's all stored for you in some kind of fancy RAG database. So all you got to do is go into the Oracle and type in the kind of niche that you want to work with, and it will uncover a ton of potential clients in that niche for you to reach out to. And if you have a specific client or creator you want to work for, you just type them in and it will pull the contact info for you. As much of it as it knows. So if you want to email them or send them direct mail, whatever. Any of the tactics that we talked about, it'll help you execute those tactics a whole lot quicker. And this client database will constantly be growing as well. So while we're starting with 1,500 pre-vetted clients, if there's anyone else specific that you don't see in the database, you could just make a request as a Genesis member and we'll pull their info and get them added to the database for you. So no cap, this is literally the most powerful client acquisition engine that's ever been built for direct response marketing pros. It literally gives you leverage at every single stage of the process, from prospecting to crafting messaging to the actual fulfillment of client work, all in one place. It's ridiculous. And the client Oracle is exclusive to Genesis. So as a member of Genesis, you get access to this literal unfair advantage that nobody else is going to have. Which is why now is the best time there's ever been to join Genesis. You have members in here on the call telling you that it's the best money they've ever spent. Insane value. And now we're adding something that makes the program at least 10 times more valuable than it already was, which nobody knew about. Honestly, even me, I didn't even know how much this thing could do. Because even if the client Oracle just helped you land one consistent client at something extremely reasonable, like $3,000 to $5,000 a month, right? One retainer, that's $36,000 to $60,000 added to your bottom line. One client. There's 1,500 of them in the fucking Oracle for you to choose from. It will be thousands of them by the end of the year in the Oracle. You need one to add a big chunk of money to your bottom line. Yet there's no reason you can't use the Oracle to add 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever amount of clients you can physically handle before you personally feel capped out. You're going to be forced to raise your prices once you start using this thing because it's going to find you a lot of clients. And that's in addition to everything else you get in Genesis, which we talked about. The bots, the calls, the 30-day client getting sprint, the coaching, the community, the networking opportunities, which are pretty damn insane. We have dozens of 7, 8, 9-figure business owners in Genesis, plus over 100 professional freelancers. You think it's valuable for you to build relationships with those people? Spoiler, it is. Genesis is like a badass software company and the world's best AI marketing mastermind all in one. That's not me blowing smoke, it's true. And it's extremely underpriced for the value it delivers. Anybody in here who's a Genesis member knows that this thing is underpriced, right? The program. People tell me on a weekly basis to raise the prices. And the reason they say that is because they know that they're all grandfathered in. And they don't want other people coming in and getting the massive value that they fucking want, that they get access to. But like people have literally told me I need to be charging $10,000, $15,000 for this thing. But a full year in Genesis cost just $5,000 for the year. Like I said, we did the math. One client, 36 to 60K. Oracle gives you an infinite amount of options to get clients from. One of them gives you 8 to 12 time ROAS on a full year in Genesis. Pretty stupid value exchange here. We really do need to raise our prices. But the price now is just $5,000 for the full year. Even though you get more time and coaching and way better tools than any other mastermind out there. Even those that cost $25,000 a year or more. We give you a better experience, better coaching, more of our time, and way better tools for 1/5 of the price. So for anyone on this call who's at the grinder or sniper or rainmaker stage, and honestly, Even people who are at the hustler stage, the higher end of the hustler stage, and you're looking to move forward, it should be a no-brainer for you to join Genesis. Like it shouldn't be something that you guys have to spend a lot of time thinking about. You know how the system works. You know that the system works if you implement it. And you know that being inside Genesis makes it 100 times easier and it makes you 100 times more likely to actually implement the system. So if you want more clients and you want to make more money, you should be inside Genesis, right? At any of these stages. Because you're literally costing yourself thousands of dollars in wasted time and opportunity for each month that you aren't inside the program. I mean, just the copywriting bots alone can cut your fulfillment time down by 20 to 50% per client at a minimum. And then you can use that extra time to implement the Client Avalanche system and go get more clients who pay you more money. This is not like, it's not a logical leap to see how you would get an ROI from this. It's a no-brainer. And even though Genesis, though, is a fucking steal at $5K for the year and should easily be at least 2 times that much. When you join today, you can get in for less than the $5,000 because we'll deduct the amount that you spent to sign up for this workshop from your yearly cost of joining Genesis. So you get to actually save. You got this workshop for free, basically, if you decide to join Genesis. But you actually get more than that because we've been talking to you guys about leverage for the last month or so. The importance of leverage, how you need more leverage in your freelancing business, in your life. So, if everything we preach revolves around giving you leverage as a freelancer and marketing pro, we want to apply leverage to your discount as well. So when you join today, we won't just deduct the $297 you invested in AI Client Avalanche. We'll 5x that discount for you, which means you'll get a deduction of $1,485. And since I don't even want to do complicated math, we'll even round it up for you, which means instead of paying $5,000 to join Genesis for the year, people on this call right now can get a full year for just $3,500. That's it. One client pays for that in the first month. Over the course of a year, reasonably pays for itself 10 times over with just one decent client. This is stupidly simple math that everybody should be able to easily see. And you can lock in that discount right now by going to this special link that will pop in the chat. And like I said, anybody at the grinder, sniper, rainmaker stage, even the high hustler stage, if you guys aren't taking advantage of this offer right now, you are burning money and costing yourself a lot of time. Look, you want to drop the link in the chat for people that want it? Because it gets better though, too. Trust me, you're going to want to fill out that link right now if you guys want it. If you guys want in and you see the value, you're going to want to fill out that link right now and join while you can. Because while we're open to helping freelancers at all levels, right? We really want people who are committed, people who are ready to level up. A ton of you told me minutes ago that you are committed to doing whatever it takes to go get clients. Well, I want to test you on that commitment. And I want to work with people who aren't just saying they're committed, but are truly committed. People who are ready to level up. Because we know that if you come into the program committed and willing to do what we say and put the work in, that's how you get massive wins. Like Cosmin and Fernando and all the other members who have already gotten massive life-changing wins. So, for those who sign up for the year before midnight tonight, Luke and I will do a special private VIP call with just you people. The handful of you. It'll just be a handful of us on the call. And we can dive deep into your specific situation and make sure that you get real tangible wins so that you can ROI on the year of Genesis within your first month. It's going to be a call with maybe, 3, 5 of us. We're even going to try to get Brian on the call, since Brian has a lot of value. We got to figure out his schedule, and we'll schedule it at a time that works. But we'll pay Brian to join the call too. So you literally get the best from all of us. Laser focused like a fucking solar death ray on your specific situation. You can. You can upgrade to annual if you want, for sure. Because once you guys are in Genesis, you know that you're not going anywhere anyway, so you might as well. But like I said, this call is only for the most committed. So not only are we going to do the call, but like when we identify who the most committed among you are, I would also love to put together a little private accountability group among the most committed. So you're surrounded with savages just like you in your little private accountability group, and you can all push yourself together over the course of the next year, in addition to all the forced accountability that we're going to be giving you guys inside the greater Genesis as a program. So if you want to stand out to us and get on our radar and get all the perks that come with proving yourself as someone who actually is truly committed, you do have to join today. Because this is not something we want people that are on the fence about. It's like you either feel it or you don't. You see the value and you know that you're leaving a ton of money on the table by not working with us, and you know that we want to help you and you want the help. That's not something that you should have to think over. However, if you do need to think it over or get your finances together, we're going to leave the discount open until Sunday at midnight. So you have a little bit of time and you can still get the discount. If you know this is something you want, you have to move some money around or clear out your credit cards or whatever it is to make it work. But if you wait until Sunday, just to be fair, you're not going to be able to join the private VIP call or the private accountability group that we set up after that. All right? It's not me trying to be a dick, but it's just the fairest way to do things. Yeah, VIP is for annual. Annual who joins today. However, we know that if you're at the rookie stage or early on in the hustler stage, and you know that you really want to join Genesis, but $3,500, even though it's an amazing deal, probably doesn't fit your budget right now and it's not realistic, we're not turning our backs on you guys either. And we do currently have a monthly option open as well. So you can join for $497 for the month and still get to attend the full 4-week client acquisition sprint. You guys already said you're all committed for the next 30 days. This is how you make the most out of the next 30 days. Give yourself the best possible chance of getting real results. That way, you're not consistently strapped for money. Let's move you out of the phase that you're in into the next phase so that you can actually start building momentum. Monthly option is a logical option for a lot of you on this call. Like, of course, I'm going to push you guys to commit to the year because I know it's in your best interest. But we're not going to look down on you for taking the monthly option, right? We're just as excited to work with you and make sure that you're not forced into decisions like this going forward. Let's get you real results and get you out of the struggle. But in all transparency, we're probably going to discontinue the monthly in the near future. Like with the client Oracle, we're basically going to be forced to raise the price of the program. And we're going to raise to a minimum of $9.97 a month because of all the resources that we've recently added to Genesis and are continuing to add, right? The Oracle, all the new bots we're dumping in there. Like the program is objectively getting more and more valuable by the week. And it was already too valuable. But anybody who joins now will be grandfathered in at the price they join at. So if we raise it to $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month and you join now, yearly or monthly at $497, you'll never have to personally pay more than that as long as you're actively stay a member of Genesis. If you leave, the whole thing resets, obviously. But as long as you're in at the price you join at, no matter how much more people who join after you have to pay. So really, no matter where you're starting from or how early into your journey you are, if you're serious and committed about making it and moving up as a marketing pro, Luke and I and Brian and all our members are more than willing to help you get massive wins. But it's really up to you guys, though. Yeah, 3,500 is grandfathered in. Whatever price you join in at, you will have the option to renew at that price. As long as there's no break in between when you become a member, okay? But like I said, this is really up to you guys, though. I'm not really interested in hard selling anybody. At this point, after this workshop, everybody knows what it takes. We were completely upfront about what goes into running a successful freelance business. We didn't hold anything back during this workshop. We could have just given you the flashy tactics and made things sound easier than it was, but that would be bullshitting you guys and doing you a disservice. We let you know, we uncovered all the stones, let you know exactly what you need to focus on, all the decisions you need to make, all the moves that you need to make to get results. So you have the knowledge already. You know the steps. And it just basically comes down to whether you think it will be valuable for you having Luke and Brian and I and all our other coaches and members helping you execute those steps in the most efficient way possible. And yeah, Carolyn, it's true. Like if you guys join and you can't make it work, it's fine. It's not for you. You're going to have a hard time making any program work for you, just to be honest. And you should, at least you'll know that maybe this whole thing as being a marketing pro probably isn't for you. And you can cut your losses and do something else. And that's honestly not me trying to be a dick. It's literally trying to be as upfront and transparent as I can be. Because you have people who've literally gotten to the top of the mountain, showing you the exact steps to get there and fucking dragging you up the mountain with us, holding you accountable, making sure that you take actual action. Yes, we need your permission to do that. But if you give us the permission, I mean, we're going to make it almost impossible for you guys to fail. So we'll drop the link in the chat for you. And if you want to join in time for the 4-week client acquisition sprint, you have to get in by Sunday night because we're starting this sprint this Monday. And we're going hard for the next 30 days to get some really, really big wins. So that when we do raise the price, we have a bunch of case studies of real people getting real results that we can talk about and brag about. And we want to brag about the wins that we help you get. So we're selfishly motivated to help you as well, even though you know we actually like helping too. But that's it. You guys know the link. If you want to join, which you should, you know what to do. Otherwise, I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope that you implement this stuff anyway. Like, I really hope that you're true to your commitments and you implement this stuff, whether you work with us or not. And if you do, we will help you. It's all I got. I'm done being the bad guy. It's exhausting, but you fucking need to hear it, so. There should be the monthly option on there, too.
Both options are on there.
No, but Ryan said that you have to strip the coupon off to get the monthly. I see it right away.
Interesting.
I don't know. Seems to work for me, but if anybody has any issues ordering, like joining, you can just oh, okay. If anyone has any issues, you can reach out to us or support and we'll get you handled too. But that's all I got.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got a couple little last minute things I want to share with everyone on the workshop, Genesis members and others alike. It might go a couple minutes over. Is that okay with you guys? If we go maybe 10 or 15 over the hour, just to make sure we get through everything. Cool. All right. So there's a couple of little fun updates. Number one is there are a few things on this workshop that we just plain old did not get the chance to cover specifically on this workshop. Some of them are a couple of the bots. For example, the messaging matrix bot, the execution bot, and a couple of the templates that I had already promised. I want to make sure that those get to you and you guys know how to use them, which we're not going to have time to get through today. That's number one. Number two is that there's actually an element, a very important element for getting clients, which you guys, many people, it wasn't even promoted. And I think probably most people on here would not even think about it. And yet it just does not feel right to me to not cover that one specific topic. And that is what happens when you get somebody on a call? How do you actually close the deal? I mean, we can all admit that that's a pretty important part, especially since I understand many copywriters, many marketing freelancers tend to be naturally a little more introverted than extroverted. And so sales may not be the most important or may not be the one thing that you feel the strongest in. So I want to make sure you at least have some resources. It's this whole topic. It's a whole training in itself. But I want to make sure you at least have some resources and frameworks that will help you with that. And the last thing that we weren't able to cover is we weren't able to do any Q&A on this training. Typically, I love to do Q&A because as contextual as I tried to make everything on here, like literally down to what are your specific saboteurs and a fucking insane decision tree, it's really, really hard. And after doing mentorships and client workshops with people for a long time, I understand and appreciate the fact that there are unique situations. And sometimes you need a little bit of like specific eyeballs on your stuff to figure out. So that was the last little element. We didn't have any time to do Q&A. So this is why for this workshop, again, it's completely bonus, but next Tuesday at around the same time, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to have a bonus day 4. This is a day we actually had planned in advance, but we wanted to kind of surprise you guys. And on that call, we're going to have Mr. Brian coming back, presenting on probably around a 20, Tuesday 9/2, probably about a 20-minute, 30-minute training or so on how to close deals, how to talk to clients, how to set those things up. You'll get a little bit more time with him. And then, of course, we'll open up the rest of the time for Q&A, as well as walking you through some of the new bots that I still want to give you to make sure we fulfill our promises there. So you have access to all of those. Okay? So you'll get a calendar update. Again, that's totally optional, whether you want to show up or not. You've already gotten all the core value that you need from this training, and the bots will be updated in the members area. So you don't need to come and make it. But if you do, and you want to understand, you want to get your questions answered, get some other personal attention, we're going to be opening that up on Tuesday. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to make sure that everyone understands. Is that clear for everyone and sound good? Cool. So you'll see some of the bots and things get updated on there. That's number one. Number two is, since I'm the good guy on this one at least, I want everyone on here, whether you join Genesis or not. In 1 second, you're going to see, you saw all the reasons to join Genesis, but you're going to get your mind blown in just 1 second. But I want to make sure that everyone on here at least has a small window of opportunity to start to execute some of this stuff and see the amount of leverage that AI will help you with. So for example, we covered things in here like how do you like doing hammer them sequences, right? Or writing emails, or doing Build-A-Buyer reports for people, or doing a voice analysis, or things like that. Okay, and many of you guys saw and looked at Mario Bot and whatever. So what I want to do is I took a couple of these different bots that we have inside of Genesis, and I'm going to make them available for everyone who's on this call pretty much for the next week. And I'm going to do even better than the next week. I'm going to give you all the way until September 8th. So on September 8th, these bots will go offline. But between now and then, you can use all the resources that we've provided, all the trainings, and then you can use these specific bots to go and fulfill entry offers, hot offers, things like that. Okay? Yeah, bad guy intensifies. Yeah, good guy, bad guy one. So I'm going to show you some of the bots that are on here. This is very, very powerful stuff. We have an entire SOP that will show you how to make AI meme and AI ugly ads exactly like these. And these all look pretty good to me, I would say. Yeah, exactly. So you have this. Not only that, but you have an entire process that's built out to show you exactly how to make this happen and how to use those bots. And I'm going to give you the specific bots that you need to make this happen. Does that sound good for everybody? Cool. So you have the ugly ad bots and the meme ad bot that will help you to make this thing done. The next thing that we talked about is hammer them. So you have a very specific bot that will walk you through how to create these ads and emails for anything. You just put in the information. Done. We also talked about We talked about doing a voice analysis. Done. We have a bot in there that will do the voice analysis for you and for your clients. We talked about a writing ads and doing Build-A-Buyer. All those bots are in here. So I don't know how many there are, more than I should probably be giving, but you know what I mean? This is what we do. There's a link in there. Like I said, you guys will have access to these bots until September 8th. If you're in Genesis, you already have access to these. But until September 8th, you'll have access to these bots so you can play around with them and you can start to use some of the frameworks we talked about, entry offers, expansion offers, all those things on there. Does that sound good for everybody? Awesome. Very cool. And what we'll spend some time on Tuesday, a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory, but we'll spend some time on Tuesday going through these bots and showing you how you can use them a little bit more and answering questions that you may have. And then you still have a full week where you can go and implement these for clients and make offers for them. Does that sound good for everybody?